cracking? This is the Legendary Traxster. You are tuned in to Hood Illustrated Magazine. Look out for the new project, Mikkey Halsted, Tia London, coming on Traxster Inc. 2012.
Briefly tell us about the Traxster, the Legendary Traxster. You know, when you started out, you know, some of your first hits, and you know where you at right now.
I go by the name of Legendary Traxster from Chicago, outside Chicago, Pocket Town to be exact. Been doing music for a minute now. Started out working with a lot of local acts, a group called Psychodrama, Do or Die, Twister, Snipers, so on and so forth. My first hit record was Poke Up by Do or Die. I went on to produce most of their music on their albums. Also produced Twister's Adrenaline Rush in its entirety, and also Mob Stability. Over the years, I've been doing production for different acts nationally. I have my own company, Traxster Inc., that I produce for now. Recent hits that I did Wetter for Twister. I did My Chick Bad for Ludacris. I did Make a Movie for Twister and Chris Brown. And I Do It for Big Sean with No.7. So right now, I'm set up out in LA, working with a lot of my own artists, and also doing a lot of work for different major labels.
Congratulations, man. That list is impressive right there. And it's like, as I go through your work, I see that you also, you're a songwriter. You do your own music. Have you stepped back from the booth a little bit, or are you still writing and still producing, or do you figure that you know, the production is where you most need it at, or are you looking for a studio album that's going to drop soon with you spitting some rhymes?
Well, really right now, I've been concentrating on building Traxster Inc. and its roster of artists. I MC at this point at my leisure, so I still record from time to time, but my focus has been production primarily lately, only because you know, production comes a little easier to me. You know, I can make 2-3 beats in a day, you know, 5-6 beats in a day. Whereas when I write, you know, it takes a lot of concentration and time and energy for me to do that. So the best move for Traxster Inc. right now was for me to focus on production, produce all these acts that I have signed. But, you know, you never know. You might get a Traxster record eventually.
Okay, that sounds hot, man. And we'd like to give some shine to the people that you know, that's coming up under you, man. I know that you got Tia London. She's definitely making some noise right now. You guys got a nice movement with her. Alongside her, what other artists can we expect to hear some of your tracks behind, and some of the people that you feel like that might, you know, make an impact in 2012, or that you know will make an impact in 2012?
Well, I'm also producing an artist named Mikkey Halsted.
Yep.
With No.7 for Traxster Inc. So he's going to have a big year this year. Along with him, I also have a Direct, who was in a group called Triple Darkness from Chicago, working on his solo project. I have Savo, I have E-Dub the Gangster, I have Dutch. So I'm always developing new talent. There's always new artists waiting in the wing. But as far as this year, you know, Tia London will come back with another project before the year is out. And Mikkey Halsted record is gonna be a real big event.
Yeah, I hear a lot of buzz going on around the Mikkey project. You and No.7, getting together on this. So I know you guys had some previous work together. What ultimately brought this project together? Was it the mutual respect and the fact that you guys seen some talent in Mikkey that needed to be out there? What was the turning point in deciding to do this project?
Really, it was the fact that No.7 and I spent so much time discussing production techniques and equipment and all that stuff. It's just natural that we work on tracks together. We actually did a track for Twista called "The Heat" with him and Raekwon on Twista's last project.
Yeah, that was fire.
And we did, like I said, we did "I Do It" for Big Sean. But we make so much music that we figured we needed to try to break an act together, and we just felt like Mikkey was an incredibly dope MC, and he met both of our standards as far as MCing. So that's why we chose him.
Okay, and it appears, man, that you know your music and you know the history of the music, and when you speak on MCing versus someone newer that would say rapping or hip hop artist. What's the definition of a real MC in your eyes, of people that you want to get behind and push? What's a real MC to you?
Well, I feel like a real MC is somebody who strives to write the best lyrics they can write. Somebody who is into the art of MCing, meaning lyrics, delivery, just different techniques, using their voice as an instrument. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to MCing. So when I use that word, you got a lot of people who rap, but I guess an MC is a more advanced rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can rap, but anybody can't MC. Can't be an MC. It takes MC is the term that I use to describe a master rapper.
Mm-hmm. Good thing, man. And you surround yourself with a lot of good talent. I mean, when you just mentioned the artists that you came up with, and you said it was local sound back then, that had to be amazing to come up, at the time and see the development of the Do or Dies, the Twisters, and the artists like that. How about the Chicago scene right now, man? I mean, Kanye West, he from the Chi, he came out of there. You got the LEP Bogus Boys. It's a new breed of Chicago music that's actually turning into mainstream. How you feel about the growth of Chicago and the Midwest as a whole?
I like the growth. Definitely like everybody who has built and continues to build on what the people before them did. I think that every Midwest region is starting to develop their own signature sound.
Mm-hmm.
More and more people, they get into it. So I'm very proud of the accomplishments that the Midwest has made, having some of the biggest rappers in the game come from the Midwest.
Definitely. Yeah, I forgot to leave out some of the real MCs like a Common. You got Eminem. I mean, this is the Midwest, and I feel like personally that out of all the different regions in music, we are slept on more than the rest of them. In your opinion, do you feel like hip hop now, with the Midwest region, you think that we've surpassed that and possibly moved ahead of, what the down south has brought to the game and what the West Coast had and the East Coast had brought to the game? You feel like we're a little bit more competitive and more respected?
I mean, I definitely think we're more respected when you have like two of the biggest rappers in the game coming from Detroit, Chicago. You know, there's been a lot of artists that have made their mark other than Kanye and Eminem, but I do feel like because it's not like those rappers really walk around saying this is Midwest, like the West Coast say West Coast or the South say the South.
Yeah.
That people don't necessarily group them together because they're not necessarily saying the same thing. It's not like you hear Eminem get on stage and say, yeah, it's Midwest. And then you turn around and hear Kanye get on stage and say, yeah, it's Midwest. Like, Southern artists do. But I think it's because, the Midwest has always been, has a history with certain gangs and certain street elements that kind of keep it divided,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as time goes on and more collaborations happen and more labels are formed in the Midwest, that we'll start seeing a greater Midwest identity.
Exactly. I understand. I feel that right there. And I'm going to jump into your music, man. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I know you were producing a track, prior to the interview. Would you say that you a studio rat, that you produce, constantly? Are you constantly in the studio, doing your craft and making sure everything's perfect? Or is there times that you want to get away from it? Or, what's the situation with that?
No, I've been workaholic. I'm in the studio most of my life. Most of the things that happen, events that happen in my life, have to happen while I'm in the studio, right before I get to the studio, or right after I leave the studio. So,
that's cool, man. How about I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, I was just saying, yeah, but I spend most of my time here, and I spend an excessive amount of time, thinking about music, doing music, finishing music. So I think that would be a safe assessment to say I'm a studio rat. I don't really like the term rat though, because on the streets, rats is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So a studio.
A hip hop legend, I'll put it like that. Stay in the studio and circle yourself about music. Yeah, I wouldn't use rat either. My bad, bro.
Oh, good.
All right, for sure. And I mean, you got a good business mind, man, and you've been in the game for a minute. I run into a lot of artists that, they always want me to listen to their music. I'm not really in a position to put them, anywhere really, but the influence on the media is real big now. What's some of your advice you would give an artist that's coming up, a producer that's coming up in the game that want to get to the next level and separate themselves from everybody else? Because everybody wants to be a rapper nowadays. It's not cool to even go to college. People want to be a rapper or make beats. So what can they separate themselves to make it a little bit easier?
Well, I would say one of the main things is your approach to music has to be about making music, not necessarily making money. You have to look at it as the art form it is. And when you get into the art of making music, you'll challenge yourself, you'll try to do different things, you'll try to learn as much as you can, people who are really special when it comes to making music are people who find themselves and challenge themselves. When you challenge yourself, you know, you end up doing things, you end up thinking about things a little harder or doing things a little different. So I would say, like, you know, you have to find a way to be unique. And if you're unique, you know, people will want to work with you. But if you're chasing other people's uniqueness, then you are one of many clones of somebody who already exists. So I would say the best way to stand out is to, you know, do something different.
Okay. Of course, serious artists only, but what's your last words to the hood?
Well, go to www.traxsterinc.com. You know, you can find out everything you need to know about me there. And, you know what I'm saying, keep looking for good music. Don't settle on, you know, what's pushed to you. Just keep, like, searching for dope artists and, you know, still some out there. What's cracking? It's the Legendary Traxster. You are tuned in to Hood Illustrated Magazine. Look out for the new project, Mikkey Halsted, Tia London, coming on Traxster Inc. 2012.